it, yeah. Heathens podcast. Gonna talk about some shit kick ass.
Heathens Inc. podcast. We're back for another one. I was making sure my microphone was on, so I didn't just do all this for nothing. Coming at you again, open platform. We're going to talk a little bit about some music. It's my good buddy Tayler Labrum.
Yo.
Welcome him. And we're going to talk about his road musically so far, and maybe some other stuff, some conspiracy theories, or who knows.
Could go anywhere.
We're just going to talk, but this is it. So, what was your first band that you were in?
First band I was ever in was Shellick.
Shellick.
Yeah.
As a local Wichita band.
Right. Some of you might remember them. I actually joined in after Files and Andrew Little. They ended up leaving the band. Jesse, lead singer, took it and got Ryan Hager, who I've played music with for since then until now. And Kevin. Yeah, he's playing drums for Mouth Breather now, which is pretty. Kevin Peters. Yeah,
Mouth Breather.
Just saw them last night. Fucking badass, man. Badass. They're good.
Yeah,
they got the doom locked down pretty well.
Doom metal.
Ryan's got his tone, man. He's got it all his own. I mean, he made his own head and his own cab and everything like.
Really?
Yeah, it's badass. So anyway, and you can hear it, man. They're fucking loud. They got Aaron Epp on bass. I actually played music with him quite a bit as well. But no, back to Shellick. That was right when I had first started playing drums too. Whenever I moved here to Wichita Falls from New Mexico, I think it was in 8th grade.
You lived in New Mexico too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my last guest, Brandon Luscombe, he lived in New Mexico.
Oh yeah. I was born in Albuquerque. Born in Albuquerque. Lived in Truth or Consequences, Las Cruces, fucking kind of all over. So I got family all over New Mexico. That's kind of my home.
I didn't really know that.
Home territory.
Know that about you.
Yep. Transplant.
Well, we accept you. You got the right jersey on.
Okay,
Even though it's bye week, right?
Yeah, it is. We're off this week, but still got to represent. Now, I was a Cowboys fan, since birth, basically. I was kind of raised that way. Yeah. So we were the black sheep of the family. Everybody else is fucking, I don't know why, Pittsburgh and like Steelers fans.
This is strange.
Like 49ers, yeah.
My grandpa was a Wisconsin, a cheesehead. He's a Green Bay fan. Yeah. I don't know why.
That's my girlfriend too. Buddy of mine, Brandon.
Hey, whatever totes their boat,
Yeah, Well, he's got a good reason. He's got family from there, so.
Okay.
Sucks they just lost Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Probably for the season.
Probably for the season.
Bummer.
Terrible deal. Collarbone.
But yeah, back to
Shellick.
Back to Shellick, yeah. When I first started playing, I moved here from New Mexico, and man, I always just was drawn to the drums.
Yeah.
Just fucking loved it. My dad was a drummer, actually, which I didn't know for quite a while, until later on in my life. And anyway, I started doing that, and I'd been playing at a buddy of mine's house. He had a drum set, and we ended up with the Mac Stack one night, and I was there watching the show.
The Mac Stack. Holy shit. I forgot all about that place.
Yeah.
I only went there twice, but yeah.
Yeah, I went up there quite a bit. I don't know. Anyway, I ran into him there, and then we got talking, and I was like, man, I'd love to play drums. He's like, dude, I got a drum set if you want to come by and jam on it. I was like, well, hell yeah. So every day after school, man, it was like, we all lived close, right around Old High in that area. And so shit, I'd fucking get out of class, get out of school, and walk over to his house. I'd sit there and play for 3-4 hours at a time, just fucking beating away at him. Just sucked terribly, but anyway, I guess about 3 or 4 months into doing that, Jesse and Ryan had come by to ask him if he wanted to play drums for them, and I happened to be there. And I was playing on his kit, and they walked in and I had never met him yet, and they were like, "Who's this guy?" Asked him. He's like, "Dude, do you mind if he plays with us on your kit?" I was like, he's like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit, man." They're like, "What do you think? You want to be in a band?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fucking awesome,
Yeah.
I kind of suck, but yeah, no shit,
sorry
man.
Sorry about you, buddy.
No, he didn't care. He was kind of recreational drummer anyway, but had a pretty cool Pearl Export series, which I played on for a long time after that. But anyway, played in Shellick, and pretty much I've been in bands ever since, really, and mostly with Jesse Witt, Ryan Hager. Anyway, I went from Shellick to 10 Cent Pistol, which some of you may know that one as well. We went pretty far with that. Could have gotten a record label. We actually had a record label offer, and we're all kind of sitting around talking about signing the contract, and it required us to be on tour for 6 months at a time. And I mean, at the time, I was all in. Jesse was all in. The lineup had changed a little bit, and 10 Cent Pistol Ryan wasn't in the band at the time. Guy named Nathan Eaton and Lee Ivy. Fucking big shout out to him. He's good fucking dude, badass guitar player.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, not everybody could do it. So Jesse was kind of upset about it. He was at a point in his life where he's like, well, fuck, if we're not gonna do this, then what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? So it kind of was the end of 10 Cent Pistol there. And then a few years later, I was doing some other stuff here and there, just nothing really, in particular. But anyway, we ended up joining with Enthusiast, which is basically 10 Cent Pistol minus Lee. So it was me, Ryan, Jason Cooper. Watched them play last night as well. Big find.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
They're
it.
badass, man.
Yeah.
Fucking powerhouse. But anyway, yeah, Enthusiast. That was really cool. Did a lot down in Dallas. Got a really good following down there.
Really, that's cool.
Yeah, we did pretty well with that one too. Biggest compliment I've ever gotten drum wise was we played a show. It was our CD release show with Enthusiasts at Reno's Chop Shop.
Yeah.
And which we frequented that place quite a bit. Well, we were down there and we were playing with a band called Bearing Teeth, and they had opened up for us. I don't know if you've heard them, but they're fucking amazing. And they got on, and man, I was just like, fucking damn, these guys are good. Drummer is phenomenal. So anyway, we get off stage, and I was like, fuck, how are we gonna follow that, But we did. We got up there and fucking killed it. It's probably one of our better shows. And anyway, once we got done, the drummer came up and we were talking on stage. He's like, man, you mind if I take a look at your kit, and fucking see what's going on? Cool, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, go for it. So anyway, we're sitting there bullshitting afterwards, sitting there watching, I think it was a Rangers game, actually. But we got to talking, and he was talking about, how a little bit about his career and what he'd been doing. And when he was talking about, back whenever I was recording Alaska, I was like, wait a second, Alaska. One of the first few albums Between the Buried and Me, which is a fucking amazing band as well. Well, turns out he was the drummer that recorded that fucking album.
Oh shit.
And I was blown the fuck away. And he complimented me up and down, man. He thought I was fucking badass. And, it was like cool whenever it was like, another drummer to another drummer is like, right on, man. Yeah, you're badass too. And then after that, it's like 2 hours later and he fucking hits me with that. I was like, holy shit. I cannot believe that just fucking happened. So that was cool. I don't know, best compliment I think I've received. We played with a lot of reputable bands too. I don't know, man. I've had a blast with it all. And after Enthusiasts kind of fizzled out, we ended up Ryan Hager, Jason Cooper, myself, kind of all sort of stuck together for the longest time, I guess. And anyway, this guy named Eric Johannan, he'd come to see us when we were in Dallas all the time, one of Ryan's friends. Super cool guy. Well, he came at us and was like, man, I want you guys to play my songs. Like I've got a bunch of songs written and I want to get them recorded. And I want to see if you guys, would want to kind of, help me write the music parts to it. I've got it all kind of mapped out, but, almost, kind of a, hired guns to record that for him. And we did. That ended up being Radio Republic, which they still play around town now. Mike Hardison's playing drums for them. Jeff Catlin's in it. I think still anyway. I haven't talked to the guys in a while, and honestly I haven't kept up with, I don't know, the local music scene as much as I should. But, everybody's got their day-to-day life. But anyway, so yeah, that was really cool. Did a lot with that. Radio Republic. And then after that, that was when I joined the Terry Allen Band. I had Eric Martin, actually, come to me. He messaged me one day and was like, hey, man, how would you feel about playing some country? I was like, at the time, I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, I've been doing, heavy stuff for the longest time in rock, not that I'm against country shit. I used to listen to it all the time as a kid. Huge Garth Brooks fan. But anyway, he was asking me about it, and I was like, man, I don't know, dude. Well, he kind of gave me the rundown of what the pay was and stuff like that. And I didn't really want to leave Radio Republic, but I, kind of told him, what was going on, that I'd been approached about that. And Eric was cool as hell. He was like, dude, if you're going to be making more money than, what I'm you know, because he paid us, you know, and very well too, you know, like he was a good fucking dude, you know. That's what he said, you know, up front, was like, you know, I'm this is kind of a business thing, you know, I'm gonna pay you guys, you know. Of course it was, you know, more than that, but anyway, I told him what was going on, and he was like, dude, yeah, if you can fucking make more money, you know, playing music, then go for it, you know. I do not want to hold you back from that. So so that's what I did. Ended up playing with the Terry Allen Band for I think it's about 2 years, I want to say, maybe a little longer than that, but that was a lot of fun. Total change of pace. You know, my first show, I was fucking nervous as shit, and I've never been fucking nervous for a show ever. Like, even my first show with Shellick, we played it. Well, of course, we did play in the gym in Byers, Texas, at the school there.
Nice.
Yeah, so big show there.
First show. Is in Byers, Texas.
Yeah, that was my first one. But played that show with the freaking swollen ankle. My left one was about the size of a freaking grapefruit, because I was skateboarding quite a bit at the time still. And that first show I played was kind of the end of the whole skateboarding thing, you know. Once I played a show, and I was amped as hell, you know. It was a lot of fun. Wasn't nervous at all, and hadn't been nervous for a show ever since until you know, I was playing country, because it was just it's almost like starting over again, you know. Yeah, of course I know what I'm doing, you know, playing drums, but I don't know, it was total change of pace, which was good for me. And of course I had to learn. It was like something like 52 songs in like a week and a half. So I kind of had my homework to do, because their drummer was leaving. Terry Allen's band's drummer was leaving in a pretty short time frame, and I finally told them, I was like, yeah, you know, I'll do it. So they gave me a big song set list, and a lot of the ones I kind of already knew, you know. It was a bunch of covers, you know, older country songs that everybody just knows.
Right.
But so anyway, it wasn't too hard, but there was definitely some that took a lot of work, and I don't know, I'd say about 3 or 4 months into it, I got, you know, really kind of settled in, and throughout that whole process, I don't know, I kind of learned a whole different facet of drumming, you know, dynamic, instead of just fucking, you know, turn it up to 11 and fucking haul ass. You know, you got to kind of reset and, you know, set the pace. And if your tempo is not perfect, you know, I mean, especially if, you know, you're playing in a dance hall and there's everybody out there on the dance floor, you know, you got 200 people out there, you know, dancing. If you're not, as a drummer, if you're not on fucking point, then people are going to know, you know what I mean? And it's just not, you're not going to sound near as professional.
Yeah, you definitely hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, learned a lot through that, man, and it was pretty invaluable experience. And then after the Terry Allen Band, I didn't really do a whole lot. Kind of focused on personal stuff at the time, kind of all through that, and there was a couple would-be projects here and there. Nothing really ever kind of took off. And then lived in Lubbock for about a year. Actually met a really cool dude there, Adrian Guardiola. He's come to play a show here in town.
Oh yeah, you played cajon with him,
acoustic.
didn't you?
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got the cajon, and anyway, we were at a bar in Lubbock there one time, and we got to talking about music and this and that, and I was like, dude, I got a cajon in the back of my car right now, you know. He was like, fuck, man. He's like, we need to get together sometime soon, you know. And I was working at Suddenlink at the time, you know, doing tech support, and I worked fucked up hours, so I was always working whenever he was playing shows, because he would always tell me, like, dude, you know, come out, you know, we'll do something. Well, finally, the last one that he was playing before he moved down to San Antonio, I want to say, going to school to be a lawyer, he was like, man, it's my last show, you know, you should come out. And I was like, fuck it, dude. I was at work, and I totally fed him a line of bullshit, and took off, and fucking, man, it was a fantastic decision. So we got set up and got going, you know, and he played a few by himself, and he didn't really kind of, you know anything about, you know, my skill level, I guess, and you know, sat back and watched and stuff like that. And then finally he ended up playing AWOL Nation Sail, and I was like, I'm getting up there for that one. Well, I guess I got up there, and fucking, I told him, I was like, I'm doing it. And he was kind of playing. He does a really cool thing with the looper, with his acoustic. You know, he'll lay, you know, a couple tracks and kind of build it up. You know, it's really fucking cool the way he does it. Well, anyway, he started playing that, and he was setting one of the loops, and I go sit down. He was like, I was fixing to ask you to come up here, so I was like, all right, cool. I'm not doing this one. So once we did that, and I don't know, we just clicked, and I didn't get off the cone the whole rest of the time.
Hell yeah.
We played like 2 hours later, longer than we were supposed to, which was cool with everybody. Like there was a lot of people, you know, fucking that were digging it, and they kept, you know, asking for songs, and he's pretty good about being able to kind of just spout some shit off. You know, if somebody hollers a song at him, he's like, yeah, I can do that one. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, but did that, and as far as that goes, that kind of brings us up to date as far as, you know, my musical career, I guess. That's the crash course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm playing drums for this band called Homestead Heathens, and I don't know, man. I just don't know if I like the guys that much. It's
Sounds
just
like
kinda...
a ridiculous ragtag type of bunch, really. Yeah.
No, man, I'm excited about it.
I am too, man. I think
like
we've been doing good with it. I know we've, like you said a minute ago, we all have our day-to-day, so we've got stuff going on here and there. We all have full-time jobs, and minus one of us for right now. We're going to work that out.
We'll figure that out.
We're figure that out, Bubba. Promise. But, yeah, it's going in the right direction, in my opinion, 100%. Definitely not trying to rush it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want it to be good. So
That's the thing.
I think that's one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah.
And I think you too. You know, you and I are kind of, we started this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, a little bit about that. Anybody that doesn't know, my story on how things went. Lacey and I, my girlfriend, were going to P2 for a couple beers. You know, I think it was Thursday. I want to say
I think it was
beers.
a Thursday.
And anyway, we get there and there's a band playing, and they were pretty good. I can't remember who it was now.
I think it was Walkin' Johnny.
Was it?
I think
right.
so.
I think that was, yeah.
So Walkin' Johnny, check them out if you like the country stuff.
Yeah, the fiddle players.
Yeah, real
She's
good.
She's good. But anyway, so yeah, we're watching them, and well, on the way there, Lacey and I were talking, and I think we were listening to the radio or something, and I was like, man, I really want to get a fucking, almost kind of like a country, country-ish project going. Hang on, I dropped my lighter. But,
something on the different side,
right? But yeah, something kind of country, because I had a lot of fun playing with, you know, the Terry Allen Band, and it was a lot less physically taxing.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, so
and I imagine mentally, to be honest with you, because a lot of that metal that you play, I mean, there's so much to remember. But I guess you kind of just fall into a groove.
It's kind of I don't know. I've kind of got the muscle memory worked down pretty well now.
Right.
My only thing is that whenever I'm playing metal, a lot of the stuff that I listened to before is I listen to different stuff now, which I mean I guess everybody does. I've always been pretty eclectic and listened to pretty much everything, you know, throughout my whole life. But when it comes to playing metal, I don't know, man. It's fun. It's a fucking blast. It's kind of apples and oranges almost, you know, playing country and metal. It gets out a certain, I can vent playing metal in a way that doesn't really come across in country, or you know, basically not metal, anything that's not metal. But there's a certain, I don't know, button that gets hit that I just fucking, I can seethe everything out, and fucking, it's almost like therapy, you know what I mean, which is great. But when I'm playing stuff like this, it's a lot more fun, and it's less intensive as far as, you know, I mean, if you're going to sit there and go to through a therapy session, it's, you know, it's work, and it'll kind of take the energy out of you a little bit, you know what I mean? But this, it's just like kind of, it's fun hanging out with your friends and fucking just kind of kicking back and having a good time. So
that's kind of what we're feeling like.
Yeah,
you know? It's hard for us to even have I don't know where we fit in, because I feel like there's not something that you can peg us at, you know?
No, I don't think so. I mean, and I've tried to explain it to quite a few people, you know, kind of what I'm doing, and it's like I never have a good answer. It's always kind of the same thing that kind of gets, you know, kind of rambled out there. Is like, it's like a country-ish, dark, folkish, bluesy almost, you know, and there's really
ballads.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's and I love that it doesn't really have.
Would you consider my song ballads, because they are kind of? Isn't it in a ballad like a story?
I would say, I mean, yeah, I guess if you put it in those terms, me, a ballad in my mind is like a fucking 80s hair metal ballad. But
Ballads
that's what
of the
comes
80s.
to mind for me. But, but yeah, I mean,
Monster
I guess so.
ballads.
Yeah. That's great. No, I like what it is, man. I fucking love what it is, actually. And I've been wanting to get something like this going, too. Oh, yeah, back to my story. So I get sidetracked.
Sorry, yeah, me too.
But, but back to that, yeah, we were at P2 and saw them playing, and I was like, fuck, man, I really want to get something like this going. And no sooner did I fucking, those words come out of my mouth that fucking Clint and Amanda walk up, and he's like, hey, man, you know, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, what's up, you know? Fucking, how are things, blah, blah, blah. We hadn't really, actually, I don't think we ever even really hung out prior to that. Friends on Facebook, you know, seeing a lot of the shit we post kind of indicates that we've got pretty similar minds on a lot of things, which I dig a lot. So I was like, yeah, dude, what the fuck's going on? We're sitting there bullshitting, and I don't know if I had told you first or if you had mentioned something about starting to play again, but anyway, we got on the subject, and I was like, dude, I'm ready to get something going. You know what I mean? I want to get something going like right now. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Clint was like, dude, I've been writing songs, like got a shit ton of songs written, like I'm ready to do it. And I was like, all right. Let's fucking do it. Fuck yes. Like, and that's how that happened, which is badass, you know? So that's cool.
How'd that first night go anyways? Didn't we just come out here and sit in the studio and you brought your cajon?
Well, the first night, but that wasn't that night though. That night we had gone to Toby's for karaoke. You had to work that night, but you guys both, you know, I was like, well, we were getting ready to leave, and I was like, well, we're going to Toby's if you guys want to come with, and so you guys ended up following there, and well, we got there, and Joey was sitting at the end of the bar, and Joey and I have known each other for a long time.
Those of you who don't know, Joey Cottrell.
Right, yes, Joey Cottrell.
Great dude.
Good dude, man. Good bass player, good musician, fucking solid guy.
Yeah, totally.
So, anyway, talk to him, and he and I had actually been talking about, you know, like, have it after fucking 10, 12 beers, whatever, like, man, we need to play some music, you know, fucking, it's like, yeah, we do. Well, this time I actually had something fucking substantial to bring to the table on that, so, I was like, dude, do you want to start something? Like, I was like, I've got a guy, like, we're ready to fucking do this, and he was like, yeah, I'm in, I'm fucking in. It's like, fuck yes. And to those,
Joey's been full force in this motherfucker too.
Yeah,
he's one of the driving forces in this. He's all about it. He looks the part. Whatever part that it is that we're looking for, he's
he's kind of the embodiment of what we got going on. It's kind of perfect. So I don't know. It was sort of written in the stars that fucking night. Well, that night too, you know, I'd run into Catherine. I'd never met her before, you know, ever.
Yeah.
And she knew, you know, mutual friends of mine knew, I guess Lacey, I think. And anyway, we got to talking, and she was like, yeah, you know, I play violin, blah blah blah, this and that. And I was like, the fuck's going on right now? Like, let's fucking do this. I've got a project. So anyway, we ended up doing that. Well, Catherine, she's got school now.
Yeah,
she ended up having to bow out. She's got a lot on her plate with school, which is completely fucking respectable, and I totally support her decision on that too. 100%.
So she's at the age that she needs to be doing that, focusing on her education, which she's got the ability to. So she does. Go for it, girl.
Yep.
You go, girl.
Yeah, get it. So anyway, that ended up not coming to fruition as far as Catherine goes. She was playing, you know, violin, which she's done some really cool stuff with us on some of the things that we did too, which is sad. You know, it's a bummer that's not going to be you know, a part of what we do, at least right now anyway. I mean,
yeah, we never know what the road holds.
Yeah, exactly, and we're still kind of keeping an eye out for I'd say a utility player. You know, somebody jump on bass or guitar, fucking do some lead,
versatile,
play mandolin, banjo, and everything else that we want somebody to play.
Somebody like me, but better. You know, a lot.
We could just clone you and just tweak a few things.
Make you better.
No, but I don't know, man. I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. Well, shit, that song that we recorded, we practiced the other day, and the chicken song.
Oh yeah,
chicken song, man.
It's called Count Your Chickens.
I like to call it the chicken song, but
on the set list it'll be called the chicken song.
But anyway, that's super catchy, man. Everything you've written for what we do, man, it's just fucking. I love it, man.
I think it's
catchy.
I think it fits the narrative of what we're trying to narrate.
You've got a pretty damn good ability to kind of story tell, you know, in your writing as well, which I think is something that's kind of undervalued or even just underdone. At least in the local, you know, musical scene that I'm aware of anyway. Now that's might not be the only, you know, instance of that. But anyway, yeah, I love it, man. I'm excited about what we got going for the future. So
I think so. I think you're right. I think I am too. I mean, I definitely am excited for what we got going, and I hope it does blossom into the beautiful lotus that I know that it can.
Right.
And
I see a lot of fucking potential with it, man. And I've never really wanted to get famous, you know, or fucking. I wouldn't mind making a lot of money playing music. But
I would like to be able to just play music.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just
if
just
I could
play
do that,
and
that'd be great.
Not have to work.
I'm not trying to be famous.
Yeah.
I always joke around with Amanda. I'm good with being a local famous.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Infamous.
Yeah. If I can just fucking pay my bills and live comfortably and fucking play music doing it and fucking
doing what you want to do, doing what you love.
Exactly.
You know, that's the best thing about. I think that you and I connect on. We're very libertarian minded, so to speak, ish. You know.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with liberal minded, because we're complete opposite of that.
And I wouldn't even know what to fucking put on as far as a label on my political views, which are.
I agree 100%. I can't either on mine. I would probably. I mean, this year I went libertarian, but I didn't have another option. I didn't have another option.
Right. Well,
I had to do what I needed to do for myself. I had to vote for who I needed to be, you know. But any which ways. Yeah, the libertarian idea of just us, you do what you want to do, I do what I want to do, as long as you're not hurting me or my property or anybody else's.
Yep.
You're fucking fine.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Yep. That's what it is.
People are gonna do what people do, and whatever makes them happy, and that's what this world needs to be more about now. You know, it's about people just doing that makes them happy.
Absolutely, man. It's something that I think a lot of people have kind of lost touch on. Everybody seems to be, you know, so offended by almost everything now. You know,
Pretty well everything.
And it's easy too. I feel like social media is a very large contributing factor in the mentality, I guess, that we have, I guess, as Americans now, because it's so easy to go on there and see something that somebody posts and be like, oh, well, fuck that, you know what I mean? And then, you know, get on there and fucking type this and that or whatever, and it's just like, if you were talking to that person face to face, it would be a completely different interaction.
100%.
Completely different interaction. I feel like that kind of fuels the fire on how everybody's getting fucking their panties in a wad about this or that. You know, it's we've kind of lost touch with our humanity. With, you know, it's great that we've got, you know, the technology that we do now. You know, I mean, everybody's got a fucking computer in their pocket, and you know, it's
the knowledge of the world in your pocket.
Yeah, but at the same time, a resounding fucking
distraction.
Yeah, well, it's almost making us stupid. You know, we're losing that personal interaction where, you know, you can sit and have a conversation with somebody and disagree, but still, you know, come to an agreement. You know what I mean, and kind of understand where each other are coming from, or maybe even see something from a different point of view.
No doubt about it.
So it's increasingly rare, and it's increasingly sad that that's becoming a thing. But
that's one of the greatest things I love about doing this podcast, is because how often do you get to sit down and discuss something with one person for an hour?
Yeah, man. And honestly, it's something that I mean, I've never been a part of, you know. And I remember you saying that, you know, that you did it whenever we were first getting together and, you know, jamming and stuff. And I was like, man, that's pretty fucking cool, you know. Like, I think that's a pretty cool thing to do.
The personality level is what it's about, man. It's just, I mean, I didn't even know you were born in New Mexico.
Yeah.
You know, now I know that. I mean, you just learn so much about people whenever you sit and discuss things. You know, when you sit and don't have your phone on you, you're not fucking watching the football game, even though it is on behind us. It's important that we get back to that, and if like. And, you know, for the people listening and watching this, it's important for them to even listen to two people having that conversation.
I think that's important too. And, you know, because we could sit and do this, you know, in person, and, you know, not be, you know, recording anything and not doing a podcast on it, and you know, it would benefit us. But, you know, this is a really cool tool that we can use to kind of help other people, maybe see that and
see a different
kind of do it on their own, you know what I mean, and kind of just spread the good vibes and make it something that's a little bit more common, you know what I mean?
Spread the humanity.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Totally sounded like a stoner. Yeah, man. Yeah, peace and love, man. No, but seriously, it's pretty awesome tool.
I enjoy it, but we need to get some gigs rolling, huh?
Yeah, we do.
I think we're getting real close to doing that. So we do have a Facebook page called Homestead Heathens, at Homestead Heathens, on Facebook. No Instagram or anything else yet. We're trying to get some content to put on there, which we might do today. We might get a song recorded on a phone or something. Not a very good recording, but give it a shot anyways. Throw something up there for everybody to see what we're doing anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, get some pictures and
get some pictures
show everybody our fucking ugly mugs.
Who we are.
I'd like to think that we sound a lot better than we look, but
I'm thinking that we look a lot better than we sound. But I'm hoping that that's just me being my worst critic. I've always been that way.
Well, it's got its place, and it's got its purpose, I think, being your own worst critic. But I think at the same time it can be a definite hindrance to creativity. So I think it's kind of one of those things that, well, I don't know, like with anything, in moderation. So I don't know. I try to tune out that personal inner critic when it starts to get a little bit too loud, you know what I mean? And when I do that, it's kind of a good way to kind of reset and let the creativity kind of flow, you know what I mean? Goodness.
I know exactly what you mean. Sorry, I choked on swallowing my beer. I know exactly what you mean there. Like I told you the other night, you kind of bring a confidence out in me, and I think that might be a little bit of what it's about, is how you don't critique yourself so hard,
It's invaluable, man, and I don't know how I came across it. Honestly, I don't know if it's just who I've been playing with throughout my musical career, or just playing with the same guys throughout my musical career, knowing there's a certain confidence that comes with playing with a group of guys since you were fucking 14 years old. You know what I mean? So I think that does a lot it has done a lot for me and my creative abilities and my my ear as far as writing and all that. It's done a lot for that, and I think that and it's actually really cool to hear you say that it kind of it's not something I ever really thought about, but to hear it kind of puts it into perspective on what I guess it is, so which. Yeah, really cool that you said that the other day. I was like, you know what, that's thanks, man. I mean, it's not something I ever really would have thought about,
Yeah, well, I mean, I never would have thought about that either until I mean, you're the only person I've ever noticed that with. I notice it now that I did have that confidence with a few other people, but you made me aware of it somehow. I don't know, but it's your demeanor and openness, you know what I mean? I think. Which I think is really important for people to have nowadays too.
In all areas of life, all facets. I mean, it's something that again is kind of
to an idea.
Being lost on a lot of fucking people nowadays. Getting caught up in yourself it can be a fucking a pretty detrimental thing. But if you can keep an open mind about everything and just know that not how you feel about things, but just know that. How you feel about things can change, and it all depends on your personal experiences, and everybody else has got different personal experiences. And to know that for a fact, I mean, that just keeps that's a pretty good way to keep an open mind right there in itself. And that's an important thing. I don't know. I feel like my mom's always been that way. She's pretty much any good, I guess, aspect I have about my personality. Anything that I feel like I'm good about, I kind of credit to her and my grandma, actually, my dad's mom. She kind of, as a very young child, she kind of like instilled some ways of thinking, I guess, into me that I didn't even realize at the time. But as I've progressed through life, it's like it always kind of comes back to, you know, this or that you know, she said, and this is, you know, what example, you know, she gave me about something, and, you know, how I can apply it, you know, to my life now. And yeah, man, I don't know, those two women I think really fucking heavily influenced, you know, me in the way that I am. And man, hats off to both of them, because they've made me, you know, the person I am today. And
So
I'm
you were
not
raised
perfect,
with your
but-
mom and
Yeah, my mom. I was with her, you know, most of my life. Her and my dad split up whenever, you know, I was really young.
yeah, mine too.
Yeah. So, and they tried, you know, off and on here and there, but dad was drank a lot.
Yeah.
You know, had some substance abuse problems. But a great fucking guy, and I remember that, you know, personally. I mean, he passed away whenever I was 12, and that was a pretty big blow. But from what I do remember of him, and he wasn't ever, you know, fucked up around me or anything like that, you know, so I got to see that fucking shining personality of his, you know. I mean, he
Right.
just lit up a fucking room.
Oh yeah.
And great fucking guy. Well, and I remember that, and all the stories that, you know, everybody's told me, you know, family members and stuff like that who'd, you know, grown up with him, my aunt, some cousins, you know, they have a lot of really cool stories that they tell about him. And he's just a fucking, I don't know, good dude. And anyway, they split up when I was young, passed away when I was 12, which, you know, like I said, was kind of a bummer. But shit, man, I mean, everything you go through in life kind of molds who you are. And I'm 30 years old now. I was pretty angry about it for a while. You know, who wouldn't be, you know.
Were you angry about your father's passing?
Right, yeah, you know, and it was at a time, you know, 12 years old is, you know, you're kind of,
It's a hard.
it's a transitional phase anyway.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
You're
so-
already going to be. You're turning into a man at the
Yeah.
time. Hormones going.
Yeah, it's a
Fucking-
lot of shit going on. So
Got
anyway, yeah.
armpit hair now, mom.
Yeah. I always wanted armpit hair too when I was a kid so bad. I just
Really?
check for
I
it
just
every
always
day
wanted a
almost.
mustache. I always wanted a mustache, even when I was little. And now I've got like an inverted Hitler. I'm German, but it's not. You know, that means I'm kind of not. So it kind of works out. You know?
Yeah. No, yeah, also the thing about my dad, that motherfucker had a stash. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, big old fucking bushy badass.
Hell
Man. I got a
yeah.
bunch of pictures of him fucking, yeah, super cool fucking hippie dude.
I got a picture of my dad. I think it was in the early '90s, maybe late '80s, wearing coach shorts, like old '80s shorts, high socks, high like almost to his knee, tennis shoes, a polo, like a silky looking polo that was tied on him, and he had a big old beard and a big old trucker hat, a lot like this one. So if you're listening, Dad, thanks. I know my beard's bigger than yours, and it always will be.
Zing. Yeah. No, yeah, I always wanted a beard too. But the first thing that grew in for me was mustache. And,
Mustache? Mine's
Yeah.
goatee. I started getting the goatee. Oh, I started getting chops in
Yeah.
about 7th, 8th grade. And I started
were
growing
one of
out
those
as long
guys,
as
yeah.
I could. I was growing them out as long as I could. And then I got my goatee when I was about sophomore, junior in high school. And it was on to the races after that.
Yeah.
I stayed with the goatee for a long, long time.
I did too. That was mustache and the goatee was the first things that started growing in. And
I don't ever
the little-
I don't ever remember not having anything on my chin.
yeah, I've had something, yeah, ever since I could start growing it. And
I don't know
that's
what my
it
chin
was.
looks like. I
I
have
always
no
shaved
clue
my
what my chin
mustache
looks
off though, so I always kept the goatee, but I kept this fucking stash, you know, kept down, and I think that's why it's so fucking thick now. It's just
Probably so
like,
because
it's-
you shaved that motherfucker all the time.
Yeah.
That's why you ain't got shit right here, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Me too, man.
Well, it's there. It's just I don't know. I get this weird blondish fucking, and now I got all the gray coming in too. But you know, I don't know. I was asked the other day. Somebody was like, "Man, you gonna get some like." You gonna do anything about that, like just for men? I was like, "Fuck that, dude!
What would
Hell
you
no.
do?
No,
What would you
yeah,
do?
I'm
You
not.
don't
No,
do nothing.
that's the stupidest. I'm sorry, but that's just the dumbest thing. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and try to maintain a fucking certain color in my beard. You know? I'm not gonna be fucking every like 2 weeks or whatever, fucking dyeing that shit. Hell no, get the fuck out of here. If it's going gray, it's going, man.
It's going. I got like 4 different colors in my beard already. I got like a
Yeah.
little bit of blonde, some brown. Finally, starting to get some like dark black hairs up here in my mustache. Pretty excited about that. Hoping for a Magnum PI one day. Fingers are crossed. I don't know on that one. I got to cross everything on that one. I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I couldn't grow a beard for the longest time though. So I just kept everything, sides and everything shaved down. There was one no shave November that I ended up, I think I was working at Toby's actually. I was bar backing, and all the guys that were working there were like, "We doing it? Let's do it." It's like, all right, it's gonna look like shit, but let's do it. Well, by the end of the month, it was like,
This could
I
work.
think this actually might end up looking okay. Now my beard's not.
That's how mine happened too.
Yeah.
A no shave November, and I was like, man, I'm not upset about this.
Yeah.
Plus, I just hated fucking shaving any
No
damn
shit,
ways.
man. Yeah, I hate it too.
Waste of fucking time.
Yep.
Who you trying to pretty up for, motherfucker?
Hey, man, I don't know.
I can't say that I gotta spend 15 minutes on this every day.
It's true. It's true. Get out of the shower. If I don't do anything to it, man, it's a fucking mess.
Mine too.
It is a mess.
You have to.
Yeah, I've got a fucking one of those big square, hair combs, I guess, or brushes, for, that I just use for my beard. It seems to be the best thing for my, I guess, the way that my beard grows and fucking how coarse it is. But yeah, no, if I don't brush that motherfucker out, and like, I'll even take a blow dryer to it and fucking kind of just dry everything down so it doesn't stick out all crazy.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
That's that's 10 minutes of the 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
The other part is putting a little bit of that good beard balm on from Shears and Shenanigans. You go check them guys out. Putting a little bit of that stuff on, getting it all mixed up in my beard, combing it out, brushing it out. It's a fucking process, but
it is, man.
I enjoy it.
Honestly, I was about to say the same thing, man. I don't know. It feels good. Like I enjoy it. Fucking sit there and just kind of run the brush through it and just.
You know what I think I enjoy most about it though? When I put that beard balm in, or even the oils that I have too from Shears and Shenanigans as well. It just opens up all my sinuses because it's the organic. They do organic and on their oils and on their bombs.
Yeah.
And the bomb's made out of like beeswax and some other ingredients, and you just mix it up in your hand, and it finally starts melting, and it melts, and it just it opens up your sinuses. It kind of wakes up your eyes in the morning. It's just like, all right, I'm fucking ready for the day. Give me a cup of coffee, a cigarette. Let's fucking hit this shit, or a Red Bull.
Always probably a Red Bull anyway.
I usually have a Red Bull a day.
I mean, was that before or
No. They're free.
Yeah. Well,
for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I actually still do buy them.
Well, I mean,
I don't have the free ones, so I go buy one.
Yeah. Take what you can get.
Yeah.
Now, usually I'm actually a monster dude.
Yeah, dude, I'll kick your ass, bro.
It's about to get real, guys. Okay, we're talking about understanding and
I'm
everything.
about done with this beer, and I only came here to do two things.
So honestly, the only reason I don't buy Red Bull is because it's more expensive.
Oh yeah,
and there's less of it. I mean, I'm sure it's probably the same amount of fucking
caffeine
and all that.
Yeah, well, it's better for you too. To be honest with you, we have amino acids and lots of good B vitamins in it. There's a lot of, even the sugar-free ones. They have a lot of like sucralose, like poorly sourced ingredients. Is what it is. Our stuff's made in Switzerland and Austria. You think they're fucking around? They ain't fucking around. They're talking about the Swiss.
Yeah. I trust those guys pretty.
Yeah, I mean, literally on the cases I get, they say made in Austria or made in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So
now, if it was made here,
right, like Monster. You gotta ask yourself: do you want to? Which one you want to? You want to drive a? You want to drive a Honda or a Lexus, bro? Well, if you're gonna drive a Lexus, you're gonna have to drink them Monsters. They're cheaper and you get more out of them.
A little bit of shameless plugging going on. No big deal.
If you want to drive a Honda, drink a Lexus.
I usually just stick with coffee for the most part, honestly. I'll get my Yeti cup and fill that motherfucker to the brim.
Yeah.
It'll last me, well, being honest, about an hour. But the hour after it cools off, though, because there's a whole fucking hour in those damn cups, and they're great for, insulation and, keeping your hot shit hot and cold shit cold. But there's a bit of a double-edged sword, and you pour fucking hot-ass coffee in that motherfucker. You can't drink it for at least an hour and a half after that.
Yeah, and you leave the lid off. It helps a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you're spilling the shit everywhere.
Right.
What are you going to do, Arctic and who's the other guys? Yeti.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with Yeti. I'm an Arctic guy.
See, yeah.
Hit me up,
that's
Arctic.
too.
You know, motherfuckers, I've been talking to y'all for months, years, almost a year, over a year now. Just send me a sticker, bitch.
Little bit of something.
Send me a sticker, motherfucker.
Little bit of something to represent.
Send me a thank you letter.
No, but man, I was getting to something. I can't remember what it was. I'm sure it'll come back around. But
Yeah. What's going on in the world these days?
a lot of shit, man. A lot of shit.
The world section.
I kind of wanted to, I don't know, sort of, I guess, touch on the. Obviously, I'm a Cowboys fan. The whole NFL thing, man. And I know the thing about why people are upset about it, it's not because a lot of things that people get the whole NFL thing, the kneeling,
the kneeling.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff in my mind anyway that people get their fucking panties in a lot about that. I just can't fucking subscribe to. Just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's stupid as shit to me. But this one, it is stupid that somebody's going to get so worked up about something that there's a facet. Well, there's a facet of it that a lot of people. Nobody else fucking stands for the anthem while you're sitting on your couch. You know what I mean? So it's like the people that get mad about that are guilty of a lot of things that are probably way less patriotic than fucking than what's actually going on with that. I will say that. However, I've talked to a few people who have said who made some good points on why they're upset about it, and I respect those because it's their opinion, and I feel like if you can articulate your opinion on something well enough to be able to have a firm grasp on it in your own mind, then whether I think you're right or wrong, I can respect it. So,
yeah.
So I don't know, man. A lot of people are, up in arms about this stuff. And honestly, I think my personal opinion on it is that it's good that somebody, and when it first happened, I thought Colin was kind of a douche.
Yeah,
for it,
no doubt. I mean,
I really
damn near everybody thought that. On a generalization, the majority of people thought, like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You're just fucking trying to draw attention to yourself.
Right.
Which he did.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah. Come to find out. But now that it's, snowballed into what it has now, there's a lot of different fucking facets that go on with it. And I think overall, you really can't get too fucking mad about it. Honestly, if somebody is in a position to be able to draw attention to something that the people that are being affected by it don't have a way to bring that attention in for themselves, then I support it, man. I support it, and that's the thing is a lot of people are getting up in arms about it, that they're pissed off because it's disrespecting the flag or disrespecting our troops, our veterans, and all that stuff. That's not
their point.
That's not the case. It's not their point, and it's matter of fact the opposite of that.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and that's the stupidest thing about this whole thing is that people are getting mad
on assumptions.
On assumptions is what it boils down to. Now, if you are still against it, and you can think about those things, and make that I guess bring that into your assessment on how you disagree with it, then that's fine too. You know what I mean? But if you're just flying off the handle because of what you're assuming that something, that they're standing for what you think they're standing for, or rather kneeling for, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you need to pay attention. You need to fucking pay attention, and that's basically what the whole point of that is for us to pay attention. And man, I don't know. I support it, and I still watch the NFL, still represent my Cowboys, even though our defense is a little sketchy right now. Kind of
janky. Motherfuckers better get it in line.
Davids, better show up.
Need Sean Lee back.
Yeah, we do. Our offensive line needs to stick together a little bit more.
Yeah.
Kind
of been letting some people through, motherfuckers. I mean, knock that shit off. Gotta protect that guy back there.
So even though Dak, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. He's the fucking size of a linebacker. I didn't really know that, man. He's what?
Huge.
I can't remember how tall he is, but I think they said he's like 240 or 260 or some shit. Like, fuck, dude, that's a big quarterback.
Did y'all ever play the Roadway Inn in Louisiana, Bossier City?
We sure did.
I remember when y'all did. I remember y'all did because I used to go to the shows there. I actually got roofied there for the first time ever.
That's
but
a great
I'll tell you
story.
that story.
I think Louisiana roofied me. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that
Louisiana will
every
roofie
fucking
the fuck out
time,
of you.
man. I'm certain that if the devil does exist, he fucking lives.
If
in
you're drinking
Louisiana.
beer and eating crawfish before the sun goes down in Louisiana, you're getting fucked up that night. I guarantee it. I guarantee
Well, and the
it.
hell of it is, to any of you guys who don't know, their bars close at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the fucking morning.
In
all
the
right.
morning.
On top of the fact that their alcohol content for all of their beers is higher than Texas.
Yep.
So, poor Oklahoma. But whenever, if you're from Louisiana, then poor Texas. Because, they don't fuck around. And, we didn't really fuck around. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. We fucked around a lot in Louisiana, but every time we had to drive that fucking 5-hour trip back to Wichita Falls, man,
It's a long drive.
it's a long drive
long, stupid,
there,
boring
but
drive.
the drive back is way longer.
Oh yeah,
It's the same distance.
It's the same distance. We went on the same roads. We should have been there 3 hours ago. No, but what I was saying is, whenever y'all would come play there, I actually lived outside of Bossier City in a town called Houghton, and that's where Dak Prescott's from. And it was right around that time where he was just fixing to graduate high school and everything. And I remember seeing him at the Waffle House and the Flying J right down the road from my house. And
That's cool, man.
because he was kind of a celebrity already then, like a local celebrity.
Right,
I
just
knew some local people.
badass
there.
local quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a local celebrity
This
right
guy's
there.
got fucking talent scouts looking at him already.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Fuck yeah, man.
it was cool. I'm not name dropping, but what's up, Dak? I never met you, I don't think, but
No, man. He's good. I think he's got what it takes to fucking to build a dynasty on top of almost like Aikman and Emmett. And I said it at the beginning, not the beginning, but once I started to kind of see how they moved and what they did. Elliot he runs a lot like Emmett. And
He
even
really
Emmett said
does,
that. Emmett's
doesn't
fucking
he?
said that he's better than him, So I mean, if fucking Emmett Smith is saying like, dude, you're better than me at what I do, like he does it just like Emmett, but I guess he just does it a little bit better. And if Emmett's saying it, then I'm gonna fucking
I think he's a little
am I to
bit quicker
disagree?
than Emmett was.
Yeah.
And he's got a few more moves.
a little sharper, a little sharper.
Yeah. But that's what
Yeah.
time has done to the game.
Yeah,
You've seen
absolutely.
people from Emmett's era that are fucking insanely fast. You can't even comprehend how fast they are and how quick they move. And then you got these next level guys that
Right.
are coming into all eras of sports. Like the MMA. MMA has changed completely around. It went from like the first Ultimate Fighter of having this big 6'9" fucking dude against a brilliant jiu-jitsu guy that's 5'9",
Yeah.
and the 5'9" guy beats his ass.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and now you've got everybody's so well versed and they're the same exact size, same weight class.
It's kind of it's sort of evened itself out
exactly
a little bit,
right.
you know?
Yeah, but well, that's probably with MMA only though. Is evened itself
Oh,
out.
I would say, yeah.
Everything else is just like who's best, who's getting better next, oh shit, you seen this motherfucker?
Yeah. Well, and that's what it is too. I mean, every generation, I would hope that my kid is better than me at everything that I've done. You know what I mean? That's what we're supposed to do as a human race. Every generation get a little bit better. But,
Continuous improvement.
Right.
That's the way of this world.
Right. Doesn't seem to be happening. But I think that's largely because I think we're I'm gonna go ahead and say it, kind of systematically being manipulated. Yeah. I feel like is the thing, That's the only thing that makes sense as to why we're not way fucking beyond what we're at right now.
You know what, man? I completely agree with you. And the reason I completely agree with you is because I just left working for a factory. And that's exactly what it felt like. I felt like I was a goddamn robot. Everybody else that worked with me were robots. This was our fucking place. This is where we had to be. They wanted us there,
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want you home with your family.
No.
They wanted you home.
Yep.
They wanted you there.
Yep.
You stay there. You work this many hours. Oh, you had plans this weekend? Sorry. Overtime.
Yeah. We don't give a fuck if you're happy or not. If
We are
you're
working
here,
America's working itself to death, man.
Yeah.
We've got to take a step back and realize, hey, it's time to enjoy our lives for what we want to do, and it's
got to be a balance, It's got to
gotta
be a balance.
There has to be a balance. Work and play.
Yeah.
People say, work hard, play harder. Well, why don't you just work hard and you can play?
Right.
Right.
I don't know, man.
But don't work too hard.
Yeah, that's the thing is don't fucking, I don't know.
Beat yourself up over
Yeah,
making a making a little bit of money. And you can't take that shit with you.
But that's it's kind of what's demanded of us, you know what I mean?
We're a consumer-based economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if it was me and if I was doing exactly what I love to do and I was making good money doing it, well, then you bet your ass I'm going to be there all the motherfucking time. Like,
No doubt.
constantly. Like,
Yeah.
that's 24 hours, you know what I mean? I'm all
100%.
about it. But that's the thing is you can't, not everybody can do that. You know, there are people who are fortunate enough to be in that situation and good for them, you know, good for them. But most of us, we got to jump through the hoops and we got to fucking grind the wheel. And whenever that wheel is, when somebody's making you grind it way more than you need to be, you know, and not giving you the time to fucking take a break and be like, all right, gather myself. All right, I'm good. Let's get back to grinding. And just fucking, when it's just the constant, I mean, I don't know, it's not good for anybody. And
Taxing, very taxing.
Very
On your soul.
Yeah,
on your
that's
body.
the biggest thing, man. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I
It's
know.
taxing on your soul because you take so much time away from the things that you want to do, and you know, it's just
Got to take a breath.
gotta take a breath. Gotta take a breath. Exactly right.
That's what it is, man. How far along are we in this?
We're good. About 45 minutes. We got about 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some conspiracy theories or some kind of
Man, I
crazy
don't know.
shit?
I feel like we're kind of
We-
leading,
I feel
leading
like-
a little
I
bit
feel
into
like
that.
You and
but-
I could handle that. Yeah, we were kind of leading into it. Like, you know, governmental issues that we have.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we
Honestly.
I believe in small government,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
but government nonetheless. I am not an atheist, an anarchist, nor an atheist.
Yeah, bit of an agnostic, I'd say. But yeah,
Okay,
no, for sure. I see the place, you know, the need for government, and I fully support that. But when it gets just too fucking big, man, like, creates problems, real
When
problems.
people are putting money in their pockets,
Yeah.
and they're not just getting paid to do a job, is when the problems start,
Yeah.
and then they snowball like a
Greed, man.
motherfucker.
Greed, money, fucking. It's a lot of what drives America now.
Yeah.
The world now, you
The
know.
world.
It's a sad state to say, but and there's a lot of people in my mind that that are almost being fucking, I wouldn't say paid, but their future depends on them keeping the status quo. And that's a problem to me as well. You know, I mean, if we can't fucking move forward as a species, then I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of fucking thumbs pushing down against that, and there aren't a lot of them, but they are very fucking large thumbs.
And you're just talking about like progression, right? Just the way that we should be
way-
be progressing, but some
Right.
people are like, hey, we've got some older values and we want to stick to them because that's
That's-
know,
that's-
1800s, that's when shit was right. You know that. You know that.
Yeah.
We had it all figured out in the 1800s. Nobody died from syphilis.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like we took a pretty hard left whenever we opted for electricity being run through fucking copper wires instead of through the air, and that right there I think was a big fuck up. I
That
wouldn't say it
was
was a fuck
massive.
up, but it was no. I mean, that
It was
that
one of
just
the biggest fuck ups of our species.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest,
I would yeah.
because it created the need for more industrialized power plants.
More use of fossil fuels.
And I'm not saying you oil and gas guys, chill out. I understand we need that, and I understand that we also need the solar guys and the wind turbine guys. We need all of it.
Right.
But we just got to find a moderation of, hey, we don't need all these nuclear fucking power plants. You close them down, you can't ever get rid of it. So it's not like something that we just
Yeah.
okay, we dissolve it. No,
No, it doesn't
dissolves
go away.
us.
It doesn't go away. Fukushima is still fucking
radiating
leaking into the fucking
radiation across the ocean, right onto us.
Yeah. That's gonna be we're gonna see the effects of that for the rest of our fucking existence as a species. I feel like I don't feel like we're ever going to.
I don't know how long.
It's never gonna go away.
I don't know exactly how long radiation along that magnitude would continuously disperse. It's
It's almost like I don't know. Say you take a fucking just a gallon of water. Take a gallon of water. You drop one cigarette butt in there. You don't really want to drink the rest of that water, and it takes a while for it to get from the point of where it's, you know, contact, and it starts, you know, the fucking ash starts kind of going down. You know, you don't really see it now. Maybe down at this bottom corner, you know, you might want to get a straw and, you know, try to drink some of the, you know, stuff that hadn't been affected yet. But eventually, that cigarette butt and every fucking chemical and all the fucking tar and everything is going to fill up that entire gallon. It's all going to be fucking nasty and brown from one cigarette butt. You know, that's kind of what's fucking happening. It's just taking a lot longer to do it. And right now, I mean, we haven't even begun to see the fucking effects of that.
No.
And it's sad, man. It's sad for, you know, for my kid, for my kids' kids. We fucked up real bad. Real fucking bad.
We didn't.
Well,
The species did.
I say that, yes, we as a species.
We as a species did. But we don't have time to reverse it. But we do have time to slow it the fuck down, to prolong our inevitable doom.
And I think, and
Doom metal,
even
mouth
with
breathing.
that, yeah, doom metal, yes. Even with that, you know, I feel like that it's being downplayed so much, and the people who stand to lose their fortune, their I guess I wouldn't even say power, but the people that don't really want us to fucking think it's a big deal. I don't know, man. If we knew about everything, every single thing that the people behind the fucking curtains were doing, we outnumber them fucking by far.
Yeah.
And I feel like the rest of us could fucking
500,000 to 1.
yeah. Could be like, you know what, you guys need to sit the fuck down for a little while and let's take the helm and let's fucking come together as a species living on one fucking rock in this fucking vastness of space, and this is all we fucking got. I mean, these guys are, you know, sitting here making money off all this shit, you know, things like I said, just kind of keeping the status quo, and their way of life is being threatened. And the thing is they have the fucking the means to manipulate and kind of fucking quell anybody who would who sees behind the curtains, I guess, and wants to do something about it. But that's kind of the thing about conspiracy theories, you know, like there's such a stigma about it. There's so much, you know, ridicule that goes into a lot of the, and then granted some of them are warranted, but not all of them, man. And I think by and large, a lot of the stuff that you know people consider conspiracy theories are probably things that we should be fucking talking about. That we should be doing something about.
We should
you know
definitely
what I
be
mean?
discussing
But
for sure.
the thing is it gets ridiculed and fucking
And then you get shunned.
right.
It's like a shaming.
Exactly.
Public shaming.
Exactly. And then again, it's the status quo. Fucking comes back in.
Figure it out.
Man.
You can't. There's no figuring that out, man. I don't think that it will ever figure that out.
I feel like there is a way to do it, man. And honestly, like I
Psychedelics for everybody.
wish
Just
that
kidding.
I wish that I could do something,
really.
you know, personally. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think everybody should probably just do mushrooms once, you know.
Yeah. As long as you're not on any MAOIs, definitely don't do it. If you're on any kind of antidepressants or anything like that, don't do any kind of psychedelics like that.
I think that would honestly, I'd fucking again, you know, open people up. Drop my lighter again.
Yeah.
Open
dude.
people up to thinking that they're not accustomed to, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for everybody.
That's
Anybody.
what. Yeah. That's what. I was thinking about that a minute ago. I was thinking of how to quote it or how to say the quote that I want to say but you know, wisdom comes with openness, but it doesn't. It's you're open. Openness becomes your wisdom.
Right. Absolutely.
You have to listen.
Yeah.
You have to learn. You have to sit back and take it all in so that way you can become wise. But until then, you're really just, like you say, following the status quo, following what the next guy's doing. You're a sheeple, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. And even the people who are waking up to that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I've become privy to that hasn't really done me any good, You know, I mean, you still got to go through your motions. You still got to fucking, you know, do everything everybody else is doing.
Yep.
You know, it's set up in a way where we're kind of in a fucking hamster wheel. You know,
That's crazy. I changed my whole life. Yeah, I changed my whole life. Went from being very religious to not religious at all, and my life is better.
Yeah.
I can 100% say that, no doubt about it. I'm not trying to say, hey man, if it works for you, do it.
Which I agree with as well. Yeah.
You know,
Some people it does.
Some people need religion.
Yeah.
They do. They need a structure in their lives. But for a few of them people that are a little bit more open-minded and can think more for themselves and really put shit together, it's important to know that there are other people like you out there.
Yeah.
And don't feel alone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's becoming a little bit more and more accepted to not be that way. You know what I mean?
I completely agree with you. And they call it the hipster movement. Millennials.
That's what the fuck you want to call it. I mean.
Just kidding. Those guys are idiots, dude. I'm just kidding.
What is the millennial age group? What is it like?
We're millennials.
Yeah, I think we're right,
millennials.
right smack in the middle, right?
Well, I'm 30. You're what?
30.
30.
Yeah.
So we're millennials. We're I think we're on the cusp.
Yeah.
You know? We're on the cusp.
Oh, I think what is it? I remember looking up the dates. It was like anybody born between, you know, I think it's like 19 fucking.
It's like 85, 86, something like that.
Yeah, or I would think I was reading like 80 to.
80s.
Yeah,
Okay,
just straight 80 to like 2005 or something.
Fuck.
And whatever the fuck they're gonna call the generation after.
I feel
that,
like
but-
everything changed in like 2005. I don't know.
I feel like the world should have fucking ended by now. Damn it.
It was supposed to.
A little
Remember?
bit pissed off about it.
December 21st, 2012,
What
wasn't
the
it?
fuck, man?
What the hell? Hey, wasn't there supposed to be another apocalypse recently too?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Come on, guys, get your shit together. Come up with the right dates.
Fucking teasing me here.
I'm tired of this. Just let me know when it's gonna end. Just kidding. But
no.
hey, man, I appreciate you coming on here and doing this with me. I think we nailed it. I think people will enjoy this. If you do, go subscribe to my channel, the Heathens Inc. podcast. Go check us out on Facebook, Heathens or Homestead Heathens. We'll be posting some stuff up, something today.
It's
for
gonna
sure
be
for
good.
that. And,
Yeah, we'll get done with this, and we're gonna get on doing some musical stuff.
get on
and,
some music.
You guys will see the benefits of that. I guess the end game of that.
You will reap
one of these days.
the benefits.
Yes, reaping the benefits.
All right, man. Thanks. That's Heathens Inc. Peace.
Heathens Inc. Podcast. We came and kicked some ass. Heathens Inc. Podcast. Back next week. We got some more shit to talk about. Yeah. Hey man, come on back. We got more shit to talk about. If you got an idea, throw it down in the comments. Let us know, man. Come on.